The town of Maple Hollow had one stoplight, two churches, and a mayor everyone trusted. When Eleanor Price disappeared, it felt impossible, like losing the ground beneath your feet. She was 46, twice elected mayor, the kind of leader who remembered birthdays and shoveled her elderly neighbors' driveways before dawn. On the morning of October 14th, Eleanor left her white colonial house at 6:15 a.m. for her usual jog along the river trail. She never came back. By noon, her husband reported her missing. By sunset, Maple Hollow was unrecognizable. Search teams combed the woods. Divers dragged the river. State police arrived with helicopters and dogs. Eleanor's phone was found 2 miles from the trail, smashed against a rock. There were no fingerprints, no blood, no witnesses. Investigators focused on the obvious explanation, a crime of opportunity. The river trail cut through dense forest and passed under an old railway bridge where transients sometimes camped. A violent drifter, a robbery gone wrong. It fit neatly enough to calm a frightened town, but nothing else did. Eleanor hadn't been robbed. Her wedding ring was still on her finger in the last photo taken from a traffic camera near the trailhead. Her bank accounts were untouched. There were no signs of a struggle. And then there was a timeline. The coroner later estimated that Eleanor likely died within hours of disappearing, but no body had been found. As days turned into weeks, investigators did what they always do when evidence runs thin. They widened the lens. They began with Eleanor's phone records. That's when Maple Hollow's perfect picture began to fracture. Eleanor had been making frequent late-night calls to a number registered under a fake name. The calls were short, urgent, and stopped abruptly 3 days before her disappearance. Then came the emails, deleted but not erased. She had been corresponding with someone under an alias, discussing plans to tell the truth, worrying about what this would do to the town, and expressing fear, not of a stranger, of someone she knew. Eleanor Price had built her career on transparency. Closed-door meetings were her enemy, but behind that public honesty was a life she kept fiercely private. Investigators discovered that Eleanor had been having an affair for nearly 2 years. The man wasn't a lobbyist or a businessman from out of town. It was Daniel Reeves, the high school history teacher, volunteer firefighter, and Eleanor's campaign manager. Daniel was married, respected, quiet. When questioned, he broke down immediately. He admitted to the affair but insisted it had ended months earlier. He said Eleanor wanted to come clean to her husband, to the town, maybe even a step down. He claimed he begged her not to ruin everything. "I loved her," he said, "but I didn't hurt her." There was still no physical evidence tying him to the disappearance. So once again, the case stalled. The breakthrough came not from a lab, but from a child. Daniel Reeves' 12-year-old daughter was struggling at school. Her teacher noticed sudden panic attacks whenever Eleanor's name came up in class. Eventually, the girl told the school counselor something that chilled everyone who heard it. The night Eleanor disappeared, she had woken up early and heard her parents arguing in the garage. Her mother was crying. Her father kept saying, "She's going to destroy us." Investigators returned to the Reeves home with a warrant. Beneath a loose concrete slab in the garage, they found traces of blood, cleaned but not enough. Cadaver dogs alerted immediately. Daniel Reeves didn't kill Eleanor. His wife, Marianne, did. Marianne had known about the affair for months. She had watched Eleanor smile at town events, praise as a moral compass, while quietly dismantling her family. When Eleanor finally told Daniel she planned to reveal everything, Marianne snapped. On the morning of the disappearance, Marianne followed Eleanor to the trail, not confront her, but to beg her to stop. The argument turned physical. Eleanor fell, struck her head on a stone embankment, and never regained consciousness. Panicked, Marianne called Daniel. Together, they moved Eleanor's body, hid it deep in an abandoned quarry miles away, and tried to erase every trace. Daniel told himself he was protecting his child. Marianne told herself Eleanor had deserved it. Eleanor Price was found 43 days after she vanished. Maple Hollow never recovered its innocence. The mayor they had loved was flawed, frightened, and human. The couple they trusted had been capable of terrible silence. and the town learned a truth that no investigation report could ever fully capture. Sometimes the most shocking crimes don't come from the shadows. They come from the people who stand beside you at parades, who teach your children history, who wave as they pass your house every morning, carrying secrets heavy enough to destroy an entire community.